Oh, hello everyone. This is my first time doing this online streaming thing. So if I'm not doing good, just leave a comment and let me know, and I will, improve next time. So today, I want to talk about some interesting topic, which is can I do a second internship in France after I have completed my first internship. The reason why I want to talk about this topic is because I was having the same problem. Because for me, I started my internship in May in 2020, and since it's a 6 month internship, so it ends, I think, basically last week in November. And my company, they called me and asked me, hey, we are really satisfied with your performance and with what you have done with the internship. So we want to talk about the possibility of you staying here for longer terms. And I was super surprised and happy. But then they asked me to do some research on the legal possibilities, because I think from their end they also realized that in France it's quite difficult for a student to do a second internship because of the French labor law protection and everything. So I actually did my research, and I consulted some lawyers who specialize in this kind of French employment law, and I also asked a lot of my French friends who are currently working in the HR field. So just asking them what is your opinion about on this matter, and the feedback and my research results came both positive and negative. So let me tell you more about it. So basically, I think in a very strict legal term, we as a master students, we are not allowed to do a second internship if you have completed your first one. So I ask, basically, I also ask my school. So in every French school, there will be a department called career services, or maybe some school they call it like career and talent services. But it's the same. They basically help students, and they give them advice on how to find internships and what are the things that you need to be aware of when you're doing the internships. What are your rights? What are your obligations? And what you should do after the internship? And because there will be matters, regarding the validation of your internship and the evaluation of your internship, etc. So this department is usually the one who is in charge of all those kind of things. So I asked them, and they told me, they basically replied my email saying that in France, it is illegal to do a second internship. So I was like, I literally can hear my heart broken, and I was super frustrated because the other thing I haven't told my company was that I actually got another internship offer from a quite large French international company. So basically, they're trying to hire someone as an intern to join their team for about a 6 month period. And I talked to the a few people there, and and also I had some internal referral who was doing the internship at the department. So he and we were friends, and he knew me very well. And he just basically told the HR that me, I was doing quite good in school. I was being very positive. I was very active in all the the events, in all the meetings, and I was very active in the projects as well. So basically from his advice, it's basically a yes, and then I passed the interviews. And in the end, I talked to the HR director, and the HR director also asked me a lot of my current situation and my information regarding my visa status, regarding my previous internship. I had this feeling that they are going to do some research on their own as well on this matter. Am I allowed to do a second internship like legally? Um, but then in the end of the interview, the HR director basically told me, we are really, really pleased. We are really glad to welcome you on board. So I take that as a yes, as a very positive signal. So that's why I went for my research. I went around asking for advice and everything. So my school told me it's impossible. It's not legal to do a second internship, and I was quite depressed because I didn't fully understand why this thing just happens, because because from the country I came from, there's no legal restriction regarding the period regarding how long you can do your internship, or how many times you can do an internship if you remain as a student. So in France, I guess things works differently, but I didn't give up. I Because I really wanted to continue my internship, because I know that my company, due to the COVID situation, they basically freeze their global headcount. So it means they couldn't hire anyone new, either in France or anywhere else in the world. So it's impossible. By doing this internship, I figured I can get paid to support my expenses living in Paris, which is very expensive, in case you haven't noticed. And I can also buy more time for me, doing this internship at daytime, and I can just apply for a permanent job after I finish. Or maybe I can apply. I can continue applying on weekends. So I told myself, don't give up, just do more research, talk to more people, maybe just to talk to someone who works in the legal field and ask, what they have said about this. And it turns out the French government, they have a pretty good reason about, preventing students doing a second internship. So I checked online. It basically says the French government, the French labor law protection government, like department, they fear some company will abuse interns and use them as permanent employee, and give them tasks that only permanent employees can do. So they set a very strict legal agreement of what you can put in the internship contract. So in France, usually a yearly an internship contract, we call it like a stagiaire de convectionnaire. It's a paper it's a contract or agreement that has to be signed between you as the intern and your company as the employer and your school. So the internship contract or agreement has to be signed by the three parties. And basically, like fundamentally, the school should be the one that provides this kind of internship contracts or agreement. So that is the I think that is the key issue, because I checked the legal clause in French, and then I translated it in English, and then I understood why. There is this like stupid thing. So basically, it says in France. So listen to the sentence I'm going to say carefully, because that sentence may help your life, or maybe it won't help your life, but it's very useful. So basically, clause says each year, like each academic year, if you are a master student, I'm not sure about the bachelor or grand école, so you will need to have to do more research if you apply for that kind of situation. But basically, if you are a master student, each academic year you are only allowed to do one internship, and this internship cannot be longer than 6 months. So that means for one, you can do one internship at most in your academic year, and the contract has to be sent by your school to you and to the employer. And the second thing you need to be aware is that the maximum time period you can do this internship is about 6 months. So it means you cannot do longer than 6 months internship. So that is the fundamental requirements of this I think a law, or maybe a regulation, if you prefer to say it. And so the thing is that, but then I did some further research, because previously I mentioned that this kind of contract is called I mean, in English you can call it like a three-party internship agreement. In French, it's stagiaire de convectionnaire. So that applies to this kind of internship. But if you are a student who are below 26 years old, you can also go to the it depends on where you live, where you study. You can also go to Mairie de Paris, or maybe Mairie de Toulouse, or it's basically the city government of the city you are living in. So you can just go there and ask for their advice as well. Because if you are under 26 year old and you don't have a school that can give you the contract, you can just ask the city government, the city hall, to help you and provide you with one internship. So that being said, if you are a foreigner or if you have done your first internship and you are under 26 years old, you can just go there for help. But I think the maximum time you can do your second internship, if you ask for the city hall for help, is 2 months. So basically that means you can go to the city hall and ask you, hey, can you give me a internship contract? So with this internship contract, you can do an extra of 2 months internship. So I guess with this solution, it doesn't solve everyone's problem, because our point is to find an internship that we can actually learn something. I don't think 2 months will help you a lot, I mean, to be honest. And so this solution, I think, is only temporary, and you can only use it once. And there is, I mean, it isn't likely that you can get a return offer only based on 2 months of internship. So it's not going to work for everyone. So I went further and I found out another solution, which is stagiaire. I think it's non-conventionnel. It means this internship, you don't need to you don't need to be validated by the school. So if you just want an internship and you don't care that this internship will be validated and will be counted as your total score, you can just go for this one. But I have to warn you that I did some legal research. If you do this kind of non-convectionnaire stagiaire, there will be some legal problems as well, because things the internship won't be validated, and most of the internships in France will be validated by the school. So it doesn't work for anyone as well. And then I would propose to you the last solution. So the last solution is that if we go back to the legal terms, I mentioned that each academic year you are only allowed to do one internship that cannot be longer than 6 months, right? So that's the legal term. But it didn't say, it didn't prevent you from registering another school, right? So in France, things work very differently. So if you are a master student or if you're just a bachelor student, you can also register other courses. So maybe, if you are like 20 or 21 years old and you are doing your bachelor degree, and you can also apply for PhD at that time. That is actually the truth. Or you can apply for other school if they accept your application. So with this solution, you can basically just find an online course. I think in French is there will be a lot of online course. We call it like online like continuous education. So as long as you find some French school or like international school that have this kind of course, you basically pay like 400 euros and you will get accepted by the new school. But in most cases it will be like a university from outside of France. So if you are accepted, they will also help you with your visa. So they will help you with maybe a 1 year or six months visa, and they will also give you a like a internship agreement. So with the new internship agreement, you can legally do a second internship. I mean, it's legal. However, this solution didn't work for me because sadly the two offers, one is from a big French company and the other one is from an American company. They are like quite large, so the legal department is, they have a lot of power over the HR. So even though the HR people said, they really want me to join and everything, but in the end, the legal department is basically the French legal. They advised against this solution. So um, I didn't get both offers. So now I will continue my, I will spend a lot of my time just applying for full-time jobs. But I think for you, if you are really having this problem as well, you can make the following proposal. So basically, if you have completed your first internship and you want to continue another internship, or you want to work in France, here is what I'm going to say. So if you want to work for the same company, and you want to do the second interview, you can just register an online course and ask the new school to give you a second internship agreement. So if your company is okay with that, so you have to ask the company first, if I register a school outside of France, but it's still in Europe, so my visa is valid, I still remain as a student. If you're okay with that, then I pay 400 euro or maybe 500 euro, and can you just maybe reimburse that? I mean, if not, you can just pay by yourself. So with your first month's internship salary, it should be okay. And if the legal is not that strict, this solution can actually work. But again, you have to ask the company like a lot of questions. I think the most one is that, if I do this internship, what are the chances that you're going to keep me if I perform really well? So that's the problem. I mean, that's the question you need to ask the company. And if you also want to continue working for the same company, you can also propose a CDD. By CDD, it also means like it's not a permanent contract. It's basically a fixed term contract. So basically, you sign a CDD with the employer. So basically, in the contract, it says you will work for this company full time for maybe 3 months, or maybe 1 month, or maybe 6 months, or 1 year, etc. And if they're okay with that, then problem solved. You can just work there and gain more experience, and you can also use your part, use your free time to apply for other jobs. If you, I think if that doesn't work, there is another solution, which is you go to the French government and you apply for profession libérale or auto entrepreneur. I think these two belong to one visa category. So if you apply for the profession libérale visa or auto entrepreneur visa, that basically means you will work as a freelancer. So you work for yourself. You basically have to cover your salary. You have to pay tax. You have to pay the social security and healthcare out of your own pocket, or maybe out of your own revenue. But you work as a freelancer. That means you cannot be employees for any other company. So you have to be your own employee and you have to be your own boss at the same time. But with this visa, you can work with other companies and they will be your clients and you will be their contractor or you will be their freelancer. So doing that, you have to obtain the visa, obtain your like a CIGE or CIGED, which is basically your tax number, and you have to set up maybe a tax account or bank account and everything. But it takes about 2 weeks or 1 month at most. So you can also talk to your company. So if you cannot hire me as an employee, so can you hire me as a freelancer so we can work on a continuous or maybe product base, so I can so I can just stay in France and I can have some income and I can provide my service as a freelancer. So I think with these 3 or 4 solution, I mean, at least you can try and see which one actually works for you. I know it's difficult to find a job, like a permanent job in France. And from my own experience, I am actually experiencing all of that. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. Like emotionally, I feel depressed. I feel worried. I feel like super angry sometimes. I feel like super upset. I sometimes doubt my ability. I have doubts about myself, but most of the time, I just feel very lost. But I guess if I'm really like I made up my mind to stay in France, to work in France, there will be a way. So I guess I won't give up. So I hope that's the case for you too, and I hope that's the advice I gave you will be somehow relevant and somehow helpful to your job search to or help you to stay in France. So if you have any other questions, you can always leave a comment. And since I have all the time in the world, I will try to reply as soon as possible. And I said earlier that I can also do a WhatsApp or maybe a Zoom meeting, and let's just talk about our problems, our experiences, or maybe just share advice. So it's quite difficult. It's a very bad situation, but at least we have each other, and I won't give up, and I hope you won't give up too. So thank you for your time, and if you think my channel is helpful, is insightful, please give me a like, give me a thumb up, and subscribe for more. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.